Hare Krishna, devotees. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So please correct me if I'm, mistaken, but I think we had discussed, the previous slide. So we're supposed to start from Kripacharya. At most we didn't have for 3 weeks class. So Dhuryodhana has been describing the warriors on both the sides. After describing Pandava army, he's describing the army on his own side. Bhavan Bhishma Karnasya Kripasya Samithinjaya. So he is describing the warriors on his side, beginning with Dronacharya, Bhishma, Karna, and now Kripacharya. So Kripacharya, he was the family priest for the Kuru dynasty. And he was also an expert archer, because he was son of an expert archer as well. So Kripacharya was son of actually Sharadvan, who was actually a great sage. When Sharadvan saw Urvashi, the beauty of Urvashi, he was very much inclined to have union with her, and he discharged semen. Of course, he couldn't have union with her, but he discharged the semen, which fell on the clump of sharagrass and got divided into 2 parts. So the 2 children were actually born from that semen. One was a male, another a female. So male child was Kripa and female child was Kripi. And these two children were adopted by Maharaj Shantanu later on. So this Sharadvan was actually son of Satyadhriti, who was an expert archer, and son of Shatananda, who was actually son of Ahilya and Gautam Rishi. So Kripacharya was actually in the dynasty of Gautam Rishi. Gautam's son was Shatanand, Shatanand's son was Satyadhriti, Satyadhriti's son was Sharadvan, and Sharadvan's son was Kripa and Kripi. So among the Kaurava army, there were 3 survivors, who fought on the side of Dhuryodhan. So one of the 3 survivors was Kripacharya, other 2 being Kritavarma and Ashvatthama. So Kripacharya was taught the science of archery by Sharadvan. So he was a very expert archer. He was a teacher for Kauravas and Yadavas as well. He fought with many warriors in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, especially Brihatshetra, Chekitan, Satyaki, Sahadeva. He fought with Arjuna and Bhima also, and also Drishtiketu and Vardasharimi. He defeated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra Vidamanyu and Shikhandi. He was also part of the conspiracy of killing Abhimanyu. So he killed the guards, who were guarding the Abhimanyu's chariot wheel, he killed them, thus rendering Abhimanyu without any protection. And the Shalya Parva actually mentions Krpa Acharya advised Karna to make peace with the Pandavas. On 18th day, when Duryodhana died by being beaten by Bhimsena's club, Kripacharya actually cried. And then Kripacharya, along with Ashvatthama and Kritvarma, they actually massacred the remaining Pandava army. During that night, when Duryodhana was dead on the 18th, that night only they killed all the Kaurava army and lit the entire camp of Pandava's army on the fire. Next comes Ashvatthama. So he says, Kripata Samjaya, Ashvatthama Vikarnascha, Somadatti Tathaivacha. So Ashvatthama. Ashvatthama, he was son of Dronacharya and Kripi. Kripi was married to Dronacharya. So their son was Ashvatthama. He was born in a cave in a forest. It's actually current day that place is called Dehradun. So in Uttarakhand, that's where he was born. So Dronacharya, he performed many years of severe penances to please Lord Shiva in order to have a son who will be, kind of, having a glimpse of Lord Shiva's valiance or heroism. He became friends with Dhuryodhan and fought on Dhuryodhan's side. After Drupada, he defeated Dronacharya. After Drupada was actually defeated by Dronacharya, Dronacharya, he took half of the kingdom of Drupada, and it's called Ahi-Kshetra, and it's a modern day UP, Uttar Pradesh. So Ahi-Kshetra, and he made Ashvatthama as the king of that half the kingdom of Drupada. He killed the son of Ghatotkacha on the 14th day of the war. So Ghatotkacha had son, who also was participating in the war. Ghatotkacha was son of Bhimsena. So from the demise called Hidimba, when Bhimsena got married to Hidimba, their son was Ghatotkacha. So Ghatotkacha's son was killed on the 14th day by Ashvatthama. He used Narayana Agneastra after Dronacharya's death. And there's actually a beautiful pastime of this Narayana Astra. Narayana Astra is, actually the Astra of Lord Krishna. But somehow that Ashwatthama had knowledge of that Narayana Astra. So when Dronacharya was killed, Ashwatthama lost his temper and he used his Narayana Astra to wipe out the entire Pandava army. But Lord Krishna, he told the Pandavas and Pandava army that Narayana Astra is not going to harm anyone or kill anyone. If you simply leave the weapons aside and with folded hands, you respect Narayana Astra will go unharming you. So everybody left their weapons down. But Bhimsena was not willing to, because they are Kshatriya blood, right? So he was not willing to. But somehow with great difficulties, Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna insisted, and Pandavas somehow they're convinced and put the Bhimsena on the ground. And then Narayana was gone, and then once Narayana goes away, then it cannot be used again. So Ashwatthama kind of frustrated. On the 18th day, he attacked the Pandavas' camp at night. He killed all the remaining soldiers on the side of Pandavas, which included Drishtadumna, who had killed his father, Dronacharya. And he also killed the 5 sons of Draupadi. thinking them to be Pandavas. So after that whole massacre, of course, Arjun captured him and arrested him. And Krishna, he instructed Arjun to remove the jewel from his forehead. Ashvatthama was born. He was born along with the jewel. You know. So everybody knew that Ashwatthama had the jewel on his forehead. On his face, we saw it clearly visible. So Krishna, he told Arjun to remove the jewel from his forehead. So he will die practically every single day. Because people knew that Ashwatthama is born with jewel. So whenever and you would ask him, who are you? And he said, I'm Ashwatthama. He said, what nonsense. You cannot be Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama has jewel in his forehead. So in this way, every time he gives his introduction, he'll be punished. He will be actually insulted. He'll be reminded of his heinous act of killing sleeping, sons of Draupadi, and also trying to kill the last seed of Pandava dynasty. That was Maharaj Parikshit. So Krishna cursed him that this wound, because this was wound created, because this jewel was part of his body. When it was removed from the body, it created a wound on his forehead. Krishna cursed him, this wound will remain for a long, long time. You will not be having this wound filled. So it is believed that Ashwatthama still lives in Himalayas. He's the disciple of now Vyasdev, learning from Vyasdev the scriptures and performing tapasya. He still has that wound on his forehead. Of course, not everyone can get to see Ashwatthama or all these great souls. And it is also explained that Ashwatthama will become Vyasdev during the next Manvantara. It's of course long time yet. So he's not going to die. He's a Chiranjeevi. He will live through this entire Manvantara. And in next Manvantara, he will actually become Vyasdev. So he has almost lifespan of at least 2 Manvantaras. Of course, he was born in this Manvantara. He was recently born just 5,000 years ago. But he will continue to live through this entire Manvantara. And in the next Manvantara, he'll be Vyasdev. Then Vikarna. Vikarna was the third prominent Kaurava. After Dhuryodhan and Dushasana, Vikarna's name comes. So Dhuryodhana was the most prominent Kaurava. Dushasana was next. And Vikarna was the third prominent. The meaning of his name is V and Karna. Karna means ears and V means has 2 meanings. It can stand for Vina or it can also mean for Vishal. Generally, when you say Vishal Karna means one who has big ears. Big ears means who's constantly eager to capture all the sounds. That means he's eager to learn. So a person who has eagerness to learn is called Vikarna. And Vina means without. So a person who's actually deaf, who does not take any good advice, can also be called Vikarna. Vinakarna. Vinakarna means who doesn't have ears. So he may have ears, but he doesn't listen to anyone. Shripad Madhvacharya, he has commented regarding this Vikarna, saying that, because we know, during the gambling match, when Draupadi was being brought into the assembly, and there was that effort to strip her naked, Vikarna was the only Kaurava who had raised his voice against Dhuryodhan. Dhuryodhan and, Karna and everyone else. So, which was not welcomed by Dhuryodhan and Karna, especially. But Shripa Madhvacharya says that was only a show of righteousness on the part of Vikarna. He was not actually righteous, because if he was righteous, he would have, during the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he would have not taken side of Dhuryodhan. So his raising the voice against Dhuryodhan was simply because he wanted to be famous as a righteous person. It was only show bottle righteousness. He was not actually righteous. He was actually an evil person. Uh, on 13th day, he actively participated in killing Abhimanyu. So Abhimanyu was killed on 13th day. So he was one of those 7 warriors who were instrumental in killing Abhimanyu together. He was killed by Bhima on the 14th day while Arjun chased Jayadratha. So at that time, Vikarna came in front of Bhima and Bhima told him, I don't want to kill you. Although Bhima had taken oath that he will kill all the sons of Dhritarashtra himself. So nobody was actually killing the sons of Dhritarashtra. Nobody, even though sometimes they would have opportunity to kill them. But they would leave because they knew that Bhimsen had taken oath. Bhimsen didn't want to kill Vikarna, telling him, because you are the only one who had raised your voice against Dhuryodhan during the gambling match. So he said, please leave my path. Don't come on my way, because otherwise I'll kill you. But of course, Vikarna, he stood in front of Bhimsen and he was killed. And when he was killed by Bhimsen, Bhimsen actually, he was the only sons of Dhritarashtra on whose death Bhima cried. Because Bhima had some soft corner for Vikarna. For whatever show bottle righteousness he exhibited, Bhima developed some soft corner for him. Then Somadatti. Somadatti is nothing but son of Somadatta. His name is Bhurishrava. So the Somadatti or Bhurishrava, who is son of Somadatta. Somadatta is actually son of Bahlika, who was brother of Maharaj Shantanu. So Maharaj Shantanu's brother was Bahlika. Bahlika's son was Somadatta, and Somadatta's son was Bhurishrava. And all these 3 generations, Bahlika, Somadatta, and Bhurishrava, all 3 were there on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, fighting on the side of Dhuryodhan. So, Bhurishrava, he wanted to take revenge from Satyaki on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Therefore, he was actually willing to kill Satyaki even in his unconscious state. So the story goes like this. When Vasudeva was getting married to Devaki, Devaki's marriage was actually a Swayambar. So in that Swayambar, many great warriors, many great heroes had come. So Somadatta, who's son of Bahlika and father of Bhurishrava, he had come, he was contemporary of Vasudeva. He had also come to marry Devaki. So when he came to marry Devaki, that time, Sini was the grandfather of Satyaki. So Sini, he was in good friendship with Vasudeva. So when Somadatta exhibited, his pride to marry Devaki, Sini actually, in that assembly where so many great warriors and Kshatriyas were present, Sini went and kicked him on the chest. Right in the Swayamvar ceremony, just to insult him. Kshatriyas, they were known for insulting each other. So Sini actually went and kicked Somadatta on the chest. So, of course, Bhurishrava was not there at that time, but he had heard this instance. So on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was fighting with Satyaki. Satyaki was grandson of Sini. Okay. So he thought, okay, here Sini had kicked my father. Sini is not around, but I can kill his grandson. I can, kick him on his chest. So he actually overpowered Satyaki to great extent, and Satyaki almost felt unconscious. That time he kicked him on the chest. And when Satyaki was almost unconscious, he took out the sword to chop off the head of Satyaki. And Arjun was there at a little distance. He actually shot an arrow and he chopped off the hand in which he was holding the sword to chop off Satyaki's head. He actually chopped off his hand with his arrow. So Bhurishrava, he actually became very, very angry, and he told Arjun that you are a coward. What kind of heroism is this? That uh, I'm engaged in fighting with one warrior, and you're coming from behind and shooting arrow at me. And Arjun severely chastised Bhurishrava. He said, what kind of code of conduct you're talking about in the battlefield? When the warrior is unconscious, you're trying to chop off his head? Is this heroism? So don't even talk about heroism. So Arjun severely chastised him. And of course, Bhurishrava felt ashamed because he knew that he was trying to kill Satyaki in unfair means. And of course, then he actually sat down in great distress. And Satyaki, of course, took the advantage and chopped off his head. On 13th day, he was part of killing Abhimanyu. On 14th day, he fought with Satyaki, and Satyaki actually killed him by unfair means. So when he sat down in a frustration, he sat down in meditation, and Satyaki took the sword and chopped off his head. Now, although Satyaki did an unfair thing and Arjun did not like it, Arjun was about to, uh, even kill Satyaki for this unfair thing. Although Satyaki was on side of Arjun, but of course, Krishna, but 14th day was very crucial when Arjun was supposed to kill Jayadratha. So Krishna told him, just forget about, we'll deal with this later. You focus on killing Jayadratha. So Satyaki was spared because of Arjun was chasing Jayadratha, so he left Satyaki. Although Satyaki on his side, but Arjun was very angry at him for killing Bhurishrava in unfair means. Now, one lesson we learn from here. Satyaki, though he killed Bhurishrava by unfair means, he was not relieved from that killing, unfair killing. During Martial Leela, Kritavarma, he criticized Satyaki. We know Martial Leela was the Leela when the whole Yaduvamsha fought with each other and killed each other. So during Martial Leela, Kritavarma criticized Satyaki for this act of killing Bhurishrava in an unfair way, and he called him coward, which enraged Satyaki very much on Kritavarma, and Kritavarma and Satyaki fought and they killed each other. And they both died at each other's hand. So in this way, these warriors were described. Now let's see text 9. Actually, we do have a few minutes. Yeah. Anne cha bahava shuram madarte tyakta jivita nana shastra praharanam sarve yuddha visharada. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. So this is a very beautiful verse. Now, where Dhuryodhan, although he's speaking in order to glorify these warriors on his side, especially the warriors on his side, but in one way, he is inspired by Mother Saraswati to speak something that is going to transpire in the near future. Especially Mad Arthe Tyakta Jivita. All these great warriors, Annecha Bahava, there are many other, after describing few names, he says, Annecha Bahava Shura, there are Bahava Shura, there are many, many other great warriors, heroic warriors, who are Mad Arthe Tyakta Jivita. For my sake, they are willing to give up their lives, Tyakta Jivita, lay down their lives for my sake. No? So, in other words, Mother Saraswati is inspiring Dhuryodhan to speak that these people will be killed. For my sake, they will be killed. So, Goddess Saraswati is inspiring such statements. And of course, Krishna will also confirm the same thing in the 33rd verse in the 11th chapter, where he tell, Arjun, Maya Veta, Nihitan Purumeva, Nimitta Matram Bhavasabhyasachi. My dear Arjun, my dear Sabyasachi, they are already put to death by my arrangement. Maya Evaite Nihata Purvam. These all are already Maya Evaita. By me only, Nihata. They are all dead. They are being killed. Purvam, before even the battle begins. So I have already killed all of them. You simply become my instrument, Arjun, Sabyasachi, for manifesting that killing. Okay. So, of course, intention of Duryodhana is, that on account of such great warriors, I will win this battle. That's what he's trying to impress or speak. I think we'll stop with this. If anyone has any questions, may I ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam Vishnu Prabhupada Prabhuji.
Haribol Madhvi Dandat Pranam.
Prabhuji, you told Ashwadhama killed Ghatotkacha or Karna has killed Ghatotkacha?
No, he killed son of Ghatotkacha. He
Oh,
didn't kill Ghatotkacha. Ghatotkacha was killed by Karna only. Son of Ghatotkacha was killed by Ashvatthama.
oh, okay. What is her son's name, Prabhuji? Ghatotkacha's son's name?
Ghatotkacha has many sons. One of the sons, who was the son, I don't, have knowledge of, but there was another son who wanted to participate in the battlefield, but he was not allowed by Krishna to participate in the battle. I'm forgetting his name. So Krishna actually got him killed before even the battle of Kurukshetra started, because he was a very powerful warrior. He was very, very powerful. He wanted to fight on the side of Pandavas, but there was one problem with him. If anyone remembers the name, please remind me the name. So Ghatotkacha's this son, he was very, very powerful. He was capable of actually finishing the entire army of Pandavas or Kauravas or both the armies in one day alone. Almost in one day he could have finished. But there was one problem.
What is
He,
that problem, Prabhuji? Why Krishna has stopped him?
yes, that's a very good question. So I just wanted to, narrate in a way that creates some suspense. So,
Maybe he wants to, maybe I'm thinking that Krishna wants to
don't
kill
think,
all
don't,
Pandavas to,
no,
at
don't think, Madhavi. Krishna wanted Pandavas to anyway win, but he had given a word to his guru. The son of Ghatotkacha, he had given a promise to his guru that he will always take the side of weaker army. So the problem is, of course, when the battle of Kurukshetra starts on the first day, right? So first day, the Kaurava have 11 Akshoni Sena, then Pandava only 7. So Pandava are definitely weaker. So he'll take the side of Pandava. But for some reason, if he did not finish all the Kaurava army, he finishes huge chunk of Kaurava army. Next day, Pandavas are strong and Kauravas are weak. So then he will go on the Kaurava side and he'll kill all the Pandava army. And if he cannot kill the Pandava army completely, the Pandava army very weak, then next day again he will come on the side of Pandavas. Okay. So Krishna could see that there was a problem. If he comes, then there will be a problem. And he was determined that he's going to take the side of the Pandavas. And he'll fight on the side of Pandavas. So, and of course, he was trained also by Krishna. He accepted Krishna also as his guru. But he had another guru whom he had given this promise. So, before beginning the battlefield, because he was trained by also Krishna in the military art, so Krishna told him, "You have to give me some Guru Dakshina." So Krishna said, uh, he said, "Okay, uh, what is the Guru Dakshina you want?" And Krishna said, "I want your head." chop off your head and give me as your Guru Dakshina. And Bhimasena didn't like this. Of course, you can imagine. Bhima's grandson, Ghatotkacha's son. So Bhimasena didn't like it, but Krishna told him, I want your head. And he very happily chopped off his head. But Krishna gave him blessings that you will not die. Even though you'll chop off your head, but you will not die. Your body will perish down, but your head will remain still alive. To see the entire battle of Kurukshetra. So you will remain alive till the entire battle of Kurukshetra is finished. So he was actually present. His head was present in the sky watching the entire battle. But I'm forgetting his name. I
think Anand Baladev Prabhuji Siddharani Mataji just kept some names.
Let me see. What are the names they have given? Barbarik. Yes. Anand Baladev Prabhu, right. His name was Barbarik. Yeah. So other sons may be there, but I know, but Barbarik was his son. So he was killed by Krishna only. So Krishna actually made him kill himself. So Barbarik, he actually witnessed the entire Kurukshetra war. And at the end of Kurukshetra war, he actually told everyone that you might be thinking different warriors fought and killed each other. But I could witness it was Krishna alone who was killing everyone. So the Barbarik's eyes was, they were seeing Krishna killing everyone, in the form of Mahakal. He was actually killing and devouring everyone. So
Thanks, Prabhuji. It's very
Prabhuji, Ashvatthama, Krishna cursed Ashvatthama?
Yes, Madhavi. Krishna cursed Ashvatthama.
Because Ashvatthama kills 5 Pandava's sons, and then his jewel was removed, so that he was insulted. And why curse again? Why did Krishna curse
See, removing jewel was one thing, but his wound would be still filled, right? Because wound will take how many days? Maybe a month, 2 months, few months, he'll be filled. But Krishna cursed him that your wound will never be filled, so that you suffer this pain and agony. Know that you will be always reminded of your sinful and heinous deeds. Krishna was especially very angry at him because of he tried to kill his dear devotee, especially Parikshit Maharaj. Krishna was extremely angry with him.
So he will be here on the earthly planet and he will suffer with that wound forever. That was the curse?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll stop here. Thank you very much, devotees.
Vancha Krpa Sindhubhyo च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
We'll continue from text.
जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा।